Hello, hello. I'm Misty, founder of soulandchoice.com, because I believe the greatest thing you can do is make better choices with more soul. And I'm here to help you do that. Because as humans, like I mentioned in my last video, as humans, we are faced with so many choices. Like it's overwhelming sometimes. If you actually stop to think about all of the choices you make on a daily basis, it would be overwhelming. And unfortunately, for a lot of the bigger decisions we make, it does feel overwhelming. There's a ton of confusion there and doubt and frustration, and we just want to make the right choices for our life. I get it. I genuinely get that. We just want to do whatever is going to bring us the most happiness, the most income, the most joy, the most freedom. We're just trying to live, guys. I hear you. I hear you. So today we are going to dive into the very first step of my three-part process of authenticity, brilliance, and clarity. So we're going to look at your authenticity. And like I said in the last video, authenticity is like finding a diamond in a mine or finding a gemstone in a mine. We want to clear away every ounce of dirt or every little speck of dirt that we possibly can so that you can see more clearly, so that you are closer to being your brightest, shiniest, most authentic self. And in order to do that, in order to dig into authenticity, I have this three-part mini video series. We're going to look at your limiting beliefs, we're going to look at your inner compass, and we're going to look at your decision-making strategy. All three of those things are going to help you get really clear on who you are and get you so many more steps closer to making the best decisions for you, making choices with soul. That's what we want. Okay, so let's dive in. Today we're going to talk about moving from confusion to clarity by dismantling your limiting beliefs. And I like it when things are like three. This step is even easier. It's just 2 steps. Isn't that so good? 2 steps, that's it. So the very first step is let's identify some limiting beliefs. So if you haven't already, go ahead and take out a piece of paper and a pen, your favorite pens. Mine are multicolored Sharpie pens. It's not a sponsor, I just really like Sharpie pens. They make me happy. And I'm talking to give you time to go get a piece of paper and something to write with. Okay. You good? Do you have what you need? Are you ready to write this down? So the very first thing I want you to write down, the very first question is, what's something you want but don't have yet? What's something you want but don't have yet? Is it a really good relationship? Is it a successful side job? Is it a successful full business? Is it a completely different job? Is it maybe to get out of a relationship? What's something you want but don't have yet? Think about that. Got it down? Written it down? Perfect. So now skip a few lines, or do what you want. I don't have to tell you everything. Skip a few lines if you'd like. And I would like you to write down what's stopping you. Genuinely, what's preventing you so far? Is it you don't have time? You don't have enough money? Is it people will make fun of you? Is it any number of things? Is it I'm trying to think of this phrase that they say. A lot of people say, it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Is it because you're unsure of what's on the other side? What is it that's really holding you back? Tell me. Or tell yourself. Write it down on a piece of paper. You could talk to the video. I wouldn't hear you. You can write to me. Actually, you could send your answers to Misty at soulandchoice.com if you have some questions, if you have some insights, if you want some more help. That's MISTI at SOULANDCHOICE.com. So technically you could just respond to me by talking to this video. I'm not going to hear you. Or you can email me. I'm here for you. I want your best life ever. Okay. So have you written down what you want but don't have yet? And have you written down some reasons why it's not yours yet? Now, what I'd really like you to do is reframe what you wrote. Okay, I'm going to go to my cheat sheet here because I wrote it down, but I want to make sure I'm saying it correctly. So, as you reframe what you just said, the first reframe is going to be, this is step 2, by the way. I know earlier I said there's 2 steps. It sounds like there's been a lot of steps, but 1, identify what you want, what's holding you back. We just did that. Step 2 is reframe it. Just to help you, just to give you some insight of where we're going with this. Okay. So now we're going to reframe what you just wrote down, because let's recognize what it is. Let's recognize it for what it is. What you just wrote down are excuses. Yeah, I said it. Let's be real with ourselves. I know it's a little bit of tough love. I know. And you probably know, right? As you wrote them down, you're like, maybe. That's fine. That's fine. Admitting is the first step. So let's admit that those were excuses. So now we're going to reframe your excuses, and we're going to make them as clear as possible. Start with the phrase, I can't. So maybe you've been wanting to take a trip for a while, but you have a hard time saving up the money. So for example, I can't travel because I don't have enough money. So you want to put it in kind of the excuses that you wrote down earlier. That's the kind of formula you want to put them into. I can't blank because blank. Cool? Should work through those a little bit. Pause the video if you have to. I can wait. So then once you have that, replace, you ready for this? Replace I can't with I'm resistant to. And then you can even add believe if there's an appropriate spot. So taking the travel example, if your excuse is I can't travel because I don't have enough money, now you move it to I'm resistant to travel because I believe I don't have enough money. You catch that shift? I'm resistant to blank because I believe blank. You good? You got it? Mm-hmm. I'm giving you time. I mean, I am reading over my notes, but I'm also giving you time. Take your time with us. We're uncovering some stuff. You should take your time. And if you need to pause the video and come back to it later, if you need to pause the video so that you have as much time and space to rate, you should do that. You should do that. You can. So you should. And if there's some stuff coming up that's like icky, know that that's okay too. You're okay. You are totally okay. And if you need anything else from me, right? If you want some extra support here, just email me. Really, just email me. I'm here. Okay. So now that we have our I'm resistant to blank because I believe blank sentences, we're going to play our own life coach. You ready for this? Yeah. I just certified you. Boop, magic wand. You are a life coach for yourself. Congratulations. That's how life should work anyways, right? We should all be our own life coach. Yes, we should get real life coaches who support us on our journey. But if we're not willing to do some of the work our own, it's pretty stuck. So now imagine that a friend told you what you just told yourself. Imagine that a friend was like, I'm resistant to traveling because I believe I don't have enough money. How would you continue that conversation? What would you say back to your friend? How would you help them come up with ways around that? How would you help them live their best life? Because a lot of times it's easier to give advice than it is to take advice. So let's give advice for a second. Let's pretend that this isn't us. Let's give advice to our friend, asking for a friend. Let's give our advice to our friend, because then that can give us some reflection on what we really need most. Okay. Give you a few seconds to do that. And again, if you need longer, just pause this video. That's how technology works. Isn't it great? You can make me stop talking. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can make me stop talking. Isn't that beautiful? It's that easy. It is. Although I will add, there is a difference between if you don't like what I'm saying versus, I need to put this down. There is a difference between if you don't like what I'm saying, like if I'm not resonating with you, that's fine. I'm not your person. But if you're feeling some stuff coming up that's uncomfortable, you should stay with that. I challenge you to stay with that because that's where growth, that's where all the awesome stuff happens. Okay, so what we have done, we've identified something that you want but don't have yet, right? So if you were able to even just get that far, you are so good. Because a lot of times we're frustrated with life, but we don't know where to start. So if you've come up with an answer for that one, like congratulations, you are doing phenomenal. So we know what you want, but don't have yet. 2, you've identified some of your limiting beliefs. You've recognized, I believe blank. I believe that I don't have enough money. I believe that I don't have enough time. I believe that I have too much to juggle. I believe that other people will make fun of me. I believe I can fly. That's not one, but it sounded fun to say. You've identified some of your limiting beliefs, and that's so fantastic. And then you've started the process tackling them, right? Once you were able to write it as if you were talking to a friend, and if you can take your own advice, then you are like light years ahead of the rest of us. So you've identified something you want, you've recognized some limiting beliefs in your way, and you've started the process of dismantling them brick by brick. You are taking this sucker down so that you can get what you want. Isn't that beautiful? I'm so proud of you. You did this. You did this work. Heck yes. So that was step one, a part of uncovering your authenticity so that you really can live your best life. And if you can imagine, like, that's just step one of step one. There is so much more greatness for you in the next videos. If you visit soulandchoice.com, there's so much more for you in life. I can't wait to help you get there. Cannot wait to help you get there. So, excuse me, we uncovered your limiting beliefs. I need to take a sip of water. 1 second. Okay, so we are dismantling some limiting beliefs. In our next video, we are going to discover your inner compass, right? So if we can start getting rid of the walls that are around you, we can start knocking those down, getting those out of the way, then we need to figure out what direction we're actually going in. And that's where the inner compass comes into play. We're going to talk about in the next video, and I can't wait to chat. So I will see you next week. Until then, keep working through this process. For as many things as you want but don't have yet, redo this process. I promise you, you're going to be, like I said before, you're going to be light years ahead of other people who are working on their best life. You've got this. You are beautiful. Keep doing great things.